Welcome to ESPN College Football Finale from Autzen Stadium here in Eugene, Oregon. Number 3 team in the country ready for their first big test of the season. Pac-12 opener for the Oregon Ducks and the 22nd ranked Arizona Wildcats, both 3-0, both with high-scoring offenses, both trying to fit as many plays as 60 minutes of football will allow. Not avoid the headline here. Rich Rodriguez against Chip Kelly. Two guys who have defined the fast-paced read option offense. Great systems, but you have to have the star playmaker. Oregon has it with DeAnthony Thomas.
I'll tell you how good DeAnthony Thomas is. Earlier in the week, head coach Rich Rodriguez of Arizona said he was the most explosive player when I recruited him in high school, and he's the most explosive player in college football right now. You know what, Joe? He was right. This guy is special good. Why? Because he can beat you from a lot of different ways. He can beat you catching the ball. He can beat you lined up in the backfield. On the inside zone, they're going to stretch you. And as soon as you make a mistake, that separation inside, great vision, one step, and he is full speed. He can also, if you stay on the inside, he'll bounce it to the outside where his speed enables him to be able to do the exact same thing. So in order for Arizona to have any shot, they've got to corral DeAnthony Thomas.
You saw the number there. It's amazing, but 3.4 times from scrimmage he touches the ball, he's going to score a touchdown. That's the pace he's on. Now for Arizona, boy, this is a perfect fit because a fifth-year senior in Matt Scott at quarterback was just waiting for Rich Rod in that system.
And they both fell into each other's laps because this is the perfect offense for Matt Scott. Matt Scott can beat you with his feet. He makes all the throws, and you know what? He's a gym rat. He sees the field well. He understands the game of football. He understands this offense. Let me say this and be emphatic about it. Matt Scott, as he goes, this offense goes, and as this offense goes, this Arizona team goes.
We're glad to have Shelly Smith with us tonight. Earlier, she caught up with Rich Rodriguez.
All right, Coach, your quarterback, Matt Scott, he stuck with you. He's been waiting in the wings for 3 years behind Nick Foles. This is a big stage. What do you expect from him tonight?
Well, he's such a great competitor. I know he's excited about it. I don't want him to be nervous. I want him to be excited. And he's worked really hard, not just for us in the last 8 months, but really over the last 4.5 years.
All right, how have you simulated DeAnthony Thomas? What have you told your guys?
Well, we don't have anybody as fast as him, so it's hard to simulate it. But, you know, everybody knows. The guys that played against him last know how fast he is. And, you know, the coaches certainly know. And, you got to be aware where he's at all times. But they got other fast guys as well.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Shelly. Oregon has won 3 straight Pac-12 conference championships. Arizona 4th in the nation total offense. But can they keep up with the Ducks? We find out next here at Autzen, where they make the most of the 54,000 plus they pack in. Long considered among the very loudest stadiums in the sport. Oregon to receive after Arizona won the toss and deferred. Keenan Lowe and that man, DeAnthony Thomas, back to return John Bonanno's kicks. And it is a short keep-away kick that takes a bounce at the 30-yard line where Keenan Lowe fields it. Everybody trying to stay away from DeAnthony Thomas this year. Marcus Mariota, the redshirt freshman from Hawaii, 6'4", off to a great start. Couldn't have started his career as a first-year player more impressively, leading the Ducks to scores on their first 9 drives of this season.
Joe, I think Marcus Mariota is the most impressive freshman in all of college football. Way, way ahead of the curve.
Mariota has Barner and Thomas in the backfield. And he will start the game with DeAnthony Thomas, and he's able to get it out to the 39-yard line. This is the pace that we will see all night long. Kenyon Barner is wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage that time. 3rd down and 2 now. Mariota to pass, and that is incomplete. Dungy could not get to that pass by Mariota. This is 4th and 2 from their own 39 on the opening drive. Mariota in trouble, and he loses yards as Sir Thomas Jackson was quick to find them.
And you're going to watch it right here. See, he was expecting Kenyon Barner to take the snap and hold that Jackson outside. It didn't happen, and he had to try to make something out of nothing, and that's what he got.
Matt Scott out of the gun. Daniel Jenkins as he scoots ahead to the 30-yard line.
This is the best player in college football. Nobody really knows about it. This kid's legit.
Grossly underrated player. Little pressure off the edge, but they get to the outside of it as Scott tries to dump it off, and he does to Kadeem Carey. Impact players for Arizona are brought to you by Firestone.
Well, you saw the first one, Kadeem Carey. He's their guy, inside runner, has good outside speed. Austin Hill, he's the guy they try to get the ball to the most. And Totoki is a guy you'll see on both sides of the ball, fullback and defensive end. Good all-around player.
Kadeem Carey trying to fight for it, but look at that Ducks front. Push him back. It'll depend on the spot as they run in to make the mark there. Not a bad look for a defensive tackle up here. Here's Scott now to the air, near side, and that will go incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. Scott to pass again. And this ball is complete just over the 20-yard line to David Richards. Let's look at Matt's game plan that you came up with.
Well, when you watch both these teams, you know you have the fast pace and everything, but Matt Scott is the difference maker. He's got to make a play. They've got to capitalize on the turnovers, and they have to win one-on-one outside. They have to beat the secondary of Oregon.
3rd and 4. Matt Scott opening right up the middle, and then he is brought down, but he is able to get the first down.
No situation is too big for him.
Here he goes to the 5.
When he tucks the ball and runs, you punish him.
Jenkins and Carey in the backfield. Kadeem Carey, can he get to the edge? No, unable to. Chased down by Brian Jackson and Terrence Mitchell.
Nicely done. You're going to watch Mitchell. 27 is going to show up. And that's a nice job by the safety coming down also. Presents a big body out there.
Scott looking, and it went too high that time, intended for Dan Buckner. And it was a disaster right from the start. The punter, Kyle DeAnthony, could not handle it. So far this game, as advertised, plenty of action. Moments ago, Kyle DeAnthony, the holder for Arizona.
Yeah, right in the hand. This is something he has to be able to do. And Joe, why is that significant? Because you cannot, any kind of drive that you have, and Coach Rich Rod knows it, it has to be punctuated, preferably 6, but you can't waste scoring opportunities.
Flag is down as Mariota gets his pass complete to Thomas.
There are fouls by both teams, and they will offset. Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense number 15. Personal foul, face mask. Defense number 38. Offsetting fouls. First down will be reclaimed.
Here it is.
Well, when you look at this defensively, you have to be able to attack in space, because one of the things that Oregon tries to do is make you be athletic in space. You have to limit big plays. That's a 20-yard run, a 30-yard pass. And yet, like I said, you have to be able to tackle. That's a great example of tackling right there in space.
Got to do that all night long against that guy. DeAnthony Thomas brought down. First guy to get him was Tremont Bondurant. Kenyon Barner, and look at that front for Arizona. They are playing fired up early on here. Mariota now facing a 3rd and 11. They only bring 3 against the first-year quarterback. And the ball is loose. And Arizona jumps on it at the 11-yard line. That was Reggie Gilbert.
You have to be able to tackle in space. Watch Flowers, lowers his shoulder right on the ball. That ball's up in the air, and it just gets, watch this. This is really well done. Bang.
And what did you just say moments ago? You cannot have missed opportunities as the underdog in this spot. You have to take advantage. And now they have yet another golden opportunity. And they come with the reverse this time. Morrison looking for space, and he darts inside the 5-yard line. A flag is down back at the 10.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 73. A 10-yard penalty.
There you can see the safety comes down hard, and bang, that's a good call.
Kadeem Carey going to test the middle of that defense for Oregon. Scott with time, and that ball is intercepted. Ekpre Olomu as Matt Scott made a mistake.
Buckner down below, number 4. Not a real fast guy, but a big man. Let's see if he was trying to... Yeah, see, he was expecting to come back right there. But Ekpre Olomu, did you see how Olomu had great position with his body and his eyes were back inside? He made the play because of that.
So 2 failed red zone trips. And Oregon back to business. Mariota downfield, but overthrows the intended target that time. That was the freshman Braylon Addison. He was covered by Jordan Grant. Mariota trying to run it himself, but nowhere to go that time as he was tackled by Jake Fisher. Mariota now facing a 3rd and 8. Quick strike for a first down out to the 30-yard line that time. Wayne Stanford with the reception for 16 yards.
Stanford just gets back inside, sitting on the zone. What you really like to see, those what Mariota did. Just a little bit of sidestep to the right to buy some time in a passing lane, and the ball's right where it had to be.
And Jan Barner takes advantage of that big hole, and he has a run for a first down in a gain of 12 before he was tackled by Flowers.
We talk about both these coaches and how they're running these offenses, but what impresses me so much about Chip Kelly is he just throws conventional wisdom to the side. He knows his team, he knows what he wants, and he's not afraid to take chances, and that's a great ability to have.
He set up the screen to Barner. Blockers in front. Past midfield, and now here come the Ducks. You see Matt Scott is taking a trip to the locker room.
That's not a good sign, nor is this.
Sione Tuihalamaka.
That's a tough sucker right there. Not a real big guy, but that is one tough guy.
Welcome back here to Autzen. Red zone trips that failed for Arizona. The story of the game so far. That was the interception moments ago by Ekpre Olomu. No score, but yet so much action, so many plays packed in to a game between these two. Oregon, though, looking like they're finding their stride a bit on this drive. Their last 3 plays going for 16, 12, and 13 yards. And Barner able to get that corner there. Mariota quickly out to Dwayne Stanford. Brian Bennett now comes into the game. And Colt Lyerla, the big, bulking, poking, tight end, straight through the middle of that Arizona defense as he took the handoff to the backup from the backup quarterback Brian Bennett.
That guy right there, Lyerla, Colt Lyerla, he's the guy. This is the best guy no one knows about in this Oregon team. This kid is a stud.
Now here's Bennett searching for room, and he was torn down. Let's see if we get a flag there. And no calls. He was ripped down by Dom Austin.
Good job by Austin. That's pretty good speed and a nice angle. Did you see how he redirected? Takes a nice angle. Now he started his tackle, started it inbounds, didn't hit him till he got to the out of bounds. Chip's not too happy about that.
Marcus Mariota comes back into the game now on 2nd and 11. Mariota over the middle. Touchdown, Ducks. Daryl Hawkins with the touchdown catch.
Hawkins was able to get to the inside based off the play action. The middle is void. Hawkins gets inside position, and Mariota, perfect.
Show the unconventional formation which they used actually in their opening week to get a 2-point conversion on. Now 91 for 91 in his career with PATs. Marcus Mariota, 9th touchdown of the year for the redshirt freshman.
Play action does 2 things. First, there's the motion to the other side. There's 1, 2, 3 receivers. That draws the backers this way. And then the play action inside opens the void in the middle. And Marcus Mariota threads the needle.
Maldonado's kick is fielded at the 6 by Jenkins. gets it out to the 26. Thanks, Reese, and B.J. Denker now in at quarterback for Arizona, and he completes his first pass of the night. Kadeem Carey. 3rd and 4 now.
Lined up tight across the board. Got man.
And Denker to the fingertips of Dan Buckner for a first down. They fight for the ball right at midfield.
Not quite sure if he had complete control of that ball all the way through, and that's why I believe the officials. Looks like the Ducks may have come away with that thing.
They're trying to unearth it.
Oh, no. Arizona stayed in.
You know, that one official down at the bottom of the pile was signaling, but then they come up with the Arizona ball.
Leave the game for one play. First down.
Tell you what, that's a great job by Denker, the quarterback. Look at this ball. This is nice tight coverage, small window. Not sure if he has great control all the way through, and then the ball comes out and he does recover.
Matt Scott back in at quarterback as he gets it complete. And it's Johnny Jackson with the extra push there. So 2nd and short, and they pass in that situation, and they are able to come up with the first down. And Jenkins now. Oh, he got leveled after trying to get his balance there. 45 combined plays so far. Quick pace game. Here's Scott on 2nd and 10. He loses the ball as his arm was coming forward there, so they're ruling it incomplete.
Ooh, his arm did start coming forward, and so that's why they're going to. But geez, his elbow and throwing motion started coming forward. That's why they call it an incomplete pass.
They only bring 3, and Scott gets the first down to David Richards.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense number 66. Contact with the helmet. After distance to the goal from the end of the play. First down.
Let's see, right up top, right up there. And then what they're going to call is because he got to the head.
And Scott darts out at the 9-yard line.
Keep in mind, this Arizona offense had 2 scoring opportunities early, came away with nothing. They've got to put points on the board here.
Pick up the pressure, and incomplete on the slant, but the flag came in.
Buckner's a big kid.
Pass interference. Defense number 14. The ball replaced at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
He's got that top hand underneath.
Never had a chance with Kiko Alonso coming in.
But I want you to watch Alonso right here, as he does a great job of anticipating the snap count, jumps it right there. Boom! That's really well played.
Was a defensive MVP of the Rose Bowl. Here's Carey. And he is taken down. That's Laney Maiava. He's to the near side.
Down the bottom of your screen, right down here.
3rd and goal. Scott. Oh, what a nice play that was by Ekpre Olomu to dive in front.
Oregon's matching up man-to-man across the board on the receivers.
Rich Rod knows you got to have 7s, but now you see him calling for the timeout. Is he going to get it? Matt Scott gets nowhere. The frustration on Rich Rodriguez's face.
Tried to get the timeout because he saw something his quarterback didn't. And the quarterback just tried to use his feet. But Michael Clay, number 46, you're going to see him come in. Really nice patience and a good job also on the end by Tony Washington, 91.
And the Ducks give the ball to Kenyon Barner. Keep it on the ground this time. And a little sidestep move by Barner.
Kenyon Barner in any other offense, I mean, he's a big timer. This kid's a heck of a player. But in any other offense, he'd really be the featured guy. But DeAnthony Thomas takes a little bit of his thunder, but what a good player.
3rd and 2 now. And he's able to pick up the first
side in outside zones. And what that does is they try to get you to start running laterally, and then the eyes of the running backs take advantage of any kind of separation.
And Barner with a good run, getting to the edge for a gain of about 9 yards.
Shuffling in the top 10, Joe.
And right here, Reese, we've got a turnover as DeAnthony Thomas fumbled the ball out near the 35-yard line, and Arizona was able to recover.
He got rocked at the end of that play, too.
Early on the field, his fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Arizona.
That's a good
Jake
call.
Fisher jumping on that ball after Tevis came in. Glad you're with us here at Autzen Stadium. Matt Scott with plenty of time. He's going to launch it to the end zone. And a flag comes in as the ball is incomplete. He's looking for Dan Buckner. Coach, this game so far has lived up to exactly what we expected. Frantic, chaos, a lot of plays, high energy, teams rolling the dice, taking risks, and for Arizona coming up empty in those red zone trips.
Yeah, a lot of defense and some missed opportunities. I think some wasted opportunities for Arizona, unfortunately.
The call there that the crowd was
pass interference.
Reacting to was a pass interference call on Ekpre Olomu. Let's take a look.
A lot of hand fighting going on right there. You see the hold, and anytime two guys get caught up, usually it goes against the defender.
Dean Carey nowhere to go that time.
Mike, I think surprisingly the inside three of both these defenses have been playing pretty well.
Well, you know, they read the press clippings too. Everybody reads about the offense, but the defense is typically going to show up and make a statement about what they want to do in the game.
Scott. And that is overthrown, looking for Tyler Slavin. Mike, so much was made of the similarities between these two coaches' offensive schemes. What did you make of the comparisons this week?
I agree with it. I think they both are very much up-tempo. They're both very run-oriented, and they do very similar things, although they each have different wrinkles that they put into their plan to attack the other.
A delayed blitz as he gets it to Carey, and Kadeem Carey trying to make a move. John Bonanno now on to attempt the 31-yard field goal. Remember the issue with the hold earlier, and this ball looked like it was blocked at the line of scrimmage.
Could you have a worse start for a football team? 4 great opportunities for scores and 4 failed attempts.
Red zone not treating the Cats well. They can't break through.
False start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Coach, at the start of the game, we talked about this team. They had to be able to take advantage of turnovers, and they clearly haven't.
Absolutely. They've had 4 opportunities, got no points out of it. Eventually, you're going to lose faith and lose hope.
Winport on third, but I'll tell you, they've been trying to get after that corner all night. He's been standing up to it.
Anthony Thomas, last time out, coughed it up. Was able to do it. This time he gets it to the 25. Coming off per game was the number through week 3. Actually up from last year. Last year the average was 2.1. And that is incomplete. It's a bad snap that Jackson Rice scoops up. Richard Morrison back on the return. Those aren't the only ones who go fishing at that spot right around the corner from Autzen Stadium. That is the favorite fishing spot of DeAnthony Thomas. Says he likes to relax, get away from football for a bit. Go fishing here in Eugene.
Brett does catch and release just like this offense. Catches it, gets rid of it.
Not quite the production they're used to so far this season. On the run, he's able to put it into the pocket, but unable to come up with the catch was Austin Hill.
Yeah, you would think against fire in the box, they'd run that ball.
Exactly.
Pressure off the edge, they pick it up. That was well off target and almost picked off by Terrence Mitchell.
The secondary is doing a great job of confusing Matt Scott right now. You notice a couple times his receivers have stopped. He's still throwing it down the field, so they're reading something that he is not. They're not on the same page.
Yeah, usually it's a conversion out there. They get to 12. At 12 yards, you're either going up depending on what the corner does. They've misread it 2 times so far.
3rd and 10 now. And this time out to midfield for a first down. That was Austin Hill.
And that was all Matt Scott right there because he threw it away from the defender on the back shoulder side.
I'll tell you, there's no fear. You throw a couple incompletes, not on the same page. Let's come back and zip one over the middle and get that first down.
Like this, he's an impressive kid. And I said earlier, not a lot of people know about this kid. It's a good kid.
He's a great kid, and he's bided his time behind Nick Foles. He's been ready for this offense to occur for a couple years.
5th-year senior at 18 yards on that 3rd and 10. Off the hands and off the tip, but incomplete. He was looking for Johnny Jackson.
On the field is incomplete pass.
Coach, one of the things we said earlier was that this Arizona offense had to get after the secondary of Oregon, and they're doing it, but Oregon's stepping up.
They are. They're getting some tips, some balls up in the air. I'll tell you, I think EFO number 14 is doing a great job. He is manning up against the guys, against bigger receivers, which is not easy.
See if they bring some pressure here. And right in stride to Jackson. And then did that ball come loose at the end?
Like it. He's saying
he's down. So they will move the chains.
Running on the field, the runner was down.
And Arizona races up to that line of scrimmage, the 30-yard line.
That's out. That ball is out. It's out before he hits the ground. That's a nice job by Michael Clay. That's a fumble.
As you talked about,
the first of the half.
It is the opportunity to attack that secondary with the play action.
Yes.
Get the linebackers out.
For further review, the ruling is the ball came out prior to the runner being down. Therefore, it is a fumble recovered by Oregon. First down.
So the call reversed. Mariota. That is complete.
Blink twice, man. He just gets rid of it right away.
As Barner, can he get the edge? Flag comes in there as Barner scoots ahead for.
He had an opportunity to get some experience in it.
Penalty is declined. Holding offense number 80. A 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, you know, you expected more offensive scoring. Both teams are used to scoring a lot of points, so this is okay, but it's close. But the reality is, at some point, Arizona's going to say, "Gosh, guys, we got to score. We got to take advantage of these opportunities." And even Oregon might be getting a little bit anxious because they haven't scored the kind of points they're used to.
The total plays. Yeah, the scoreboard only reads 7-zip, but it is that fast-paced attack of both teams. Mariota looking for options, and he is able to get it.
Inside the pocket. He throws as well on the run and finds receivers while he is running as well as anybody I've seen at the college level.
Does not blink. The game is not too big. He is. This is exactly what you're looking for in a young player.
Kenyon Barner now. As Barner was taken down by Jake Fisher, tore his ACL a year ago.
One of the toughest things to find for any player, really, but it really is accentuated at the quarterback spot is poise. And if you have it, you got a real one. And he's a real one.
He looks as if the game slows down for him. He sees it in slow motion, which is want every quarterback to feel that way.
2nd and 6. Look quickly to Stanford, and he fights his way. Ball came loose right at the end.
More turnovers and takeaways than both coaches certainly want.
The ruling on the field is the ball was forward, fumble, and out of bounds. The ball will be returned to the spot of the fumble. First down.
Stanford, an early target for Mariota tonight. There's Barner again, and not much running room. 2nd and 7. Mariota pumps, then goes downfield, and that was almost intercepted as Jonathan McKnight was running in stride with B.J. Keller. DeAnthony Thomas in the backfield now with Mariota here on 3rd and 7. And Thomas, little shake and bake, watch out. And somehow, some way, he's able to get to the line to make before he's met by Jordan Grant.
I think there's a slight rain falling on the field. That probably makes him even slipperier than he is.
And now Brian Bennett comes back into the game with this package with Colt LaIola in the backfield that they showed earlier. LaIola just pile driving his way to the 28-yard line. He's a battering ram.
He's such a changeup from the little guys, from Kenyon Barner, DeAnthony Thomas. He's a power guy, 245 pounds, and he runs well. And he actually knows how to run. He drops those pads and moves the pile.
Now here's Bennett with a blocker in front, LaIola, and Bennett has what appears to be first down yardage. Remember, Brian Bennett, many expected him to land the starting job as he played well last year in a backup role, but Mariota outplayed him in fall camp.
I talked with the coaches. They said he's been great about being the backup, and they've given him a role, obviously, to feel like he can be involved. That's keeping him active, keeping him excited about the game.
They stick with this package and combination of personnel, and LaIola once again just thundering his way down to the 16-yard line. He's 6'5", 250-pounder.
Now I want you to watch the feet in the hole right there. See that? That is not lumbering or thundering. That is athleticism at its finest.
That's moving a lot of weight fast.
2nd and 3 now. And Jan Barner. Mariota back in the game, quickly swings it, but it's incomplete as he was hoping to get something with Barner there at the end of that play that he extended.
I just really like the way this kid plays. He has the feet, he has the escapability, but he has the presence.
Yeah. It's like a point guard in basketball. He knows when to get rid of the ball, when to pass it off. He takes
that was helmet to helmet
there.
Yeah, that was hit to the chops there.
That was Bondurant who came up there and hit him in the helmet. Now spinning is Barner. Right at that line to make.
You know, I don't think enough is talked about with Chip Kelly and the way he calls the game. But there's one thing to have those guys like LaIola comes in and Bennett comes in, and you know he's mixing and matching a lot. He is fearless in how he calls the game.
He is, and I don't know if you noticed when they were down here before, they ran 3 straight plays to the left to work on that left side of the Arizona defensive front.
Mariota. That is incomplete as he threw it just a bit low for Colt LaIola. Jared Tevis broke it up.
Mike, you and I were talking about LaIola, about being flying under the radar. Not a lot of people really knowing what kind of athleticism he has and what kind of weapon he can become.
He's one of the best football players on this team. He could play on offense or defense. Both sides of the ball coveted him when he came out of high school.
Barner on 2nd and 10. And it just gets inside the 10.
And back to LaIola. He's a quality player because he can catch the ball both out of the backfield and down the seam. You can split him out, but he also is showing something new today. He could be a fullback or the power back that they don't have. It could be a short yardage guy like LeGarrette Blount was for them a couple years ago.
And the guy like that, he quickly becomes the offensive line's best friend. He allows him to come off the ball and get into people.
3rd and 7 now for Mariota. Barner out of the backfield, near side slot. Mariota looked to step in, now sprints to the near side, trying to get to the edge. Flag is down, he throws it, and that is incomplete as he was looking for Darrell Hawkins in the end zone.
One of the things you notice is Marcus is so fast. He's trapped in the pocket, he gets out, he buys time with his feet and his speed, but his eyes are still down the field.
That's
He's got
what's so
that
impressive.
presence of mind.
Yep, that's what's so impressive. The poise is there, along with everything else.
Holding penalty was declined. And he puts it through with a spirited effort off the edge by Arizona to try to block it. That looked like it was Jonathan McKnight flying in there. Beard just gets it off to make it 10-0. Third-ranked Ducks are up 10-0. Daniel Jenkins now on the return. And Jenkins taken down at the 15. Let's check contenders here early in the season. Number 3 taking on number 22 in Arizona with the completion.
Been in this position before. They have poise too. This is a group that they don't give. There's no give up in this group.
Kadeem Carey, good effort there, and he picks up the first down. Scott quickly swings it out. Austin Hill just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Scott on 2nd and 10 with time, and it was incomplete, looking for Buckner. So loud on 3rd and 10. And that goes incomplete, as once again he was looking for Buckner.
You're going to throw it inside. The safety's got to be able to separate that ball. He can't come down with a catch.
Right, and he's challenging the wide receiver. That ball should have probably been caught. He had a chance to tuck it away, but pretty good job by the safety breaking on that ball, putting a lick on the receiver.
And a timeout is called by the Ducks. Arizona will be punting for the first time when we return. Most dynamic player in college football. See if he gets a chance here. Takes an Arizona bounce. Thomas, if he gets a crease, he can go, but that time it was filled.
Taking good angles, coming inside out.
Quick pass to Dungy. The 3rd and 1, as he was tackled by Richardson. That is the son of Tony Dungy.
3rd and 1 gives you so many opportunities in this offense. Anybody can carry the ball.
And Thomas comes up short. Good tackle by Bondurant.
Nicely done by Bondurant. They got aggressive right at the line of scrimmage. And that's what you have to do. They attacked it. Really well done upside, inside. Tui Halamaka, nice job inside out. This
4th and 2. From their own 34.
Not afraid to do it. That's what I love about Chip Kelly.
Thomas looking for room, and he finds it.
Mike, that was all DeAnthony Thomas right there.
There was not a hole. He danced. He's not the biggest guy. He doesn't run with great power, but he is so quick, so elusive, and he runs with his eyes also, so you can see that hole develop.
So that just that little space, he burst into it, and there's your first.
Goes down at the 40. Mariota pulls it this time. And that time, he's able to find Daryl Hawkins.
Thomas in this. They come and he comes clean, and he's got to stand in there and protect the backside. Not pretty, but did his job.
Enough to let the quarterback get the ball off.
Exactly.
Went up against a 300-pounder that time. And this is Keenan Lowe, who tries to fight for that yardage against Jared Tevis.
A couple of nice separations from the ball and the ball carrier. He plays the middle of that field pretty well.
3rd and inches. And once again, just finding a little crease that time was DeAnthony Thomas.
This is what Chip does so well. He gets a rhythm going, running the football, and he'll start to wear out the other defense because they're going to continually give, then have the big play action pass off of it.
First down, Mariota pumps over the middle and incomplete.
And that's a long time to have to cover, as you know. I mean, the quarterback can sit back and survey the field, pump it 2 or 3 times. You guys say, come on, guys, get after that pass rush.
Yeah, people forget that crossing routes take a long time to develop, and it gives you an ability to be able to use your speed.
And some motion there.
False start. Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
And you see what it does. It gives Arizona an opportunity to substitute defensively. There's Barner now. And Barner, a swarming attack by Arizona. Jonathan McKnight came up to make the tackle. 3rd and 13 now. Empty set for Mariota. And he gets it complete for a first down to big Colt Laierla.
Well, they zoned him, and Laierla does a nice job of finding the hole in the zone and sitting down. And because he's able to have protection, he can make this throw.
Look at how fast they snapped the ball here, and that time it was thrown to the outside of Keenan Lowe. Coming up on the final minute here of this first half. Here's the screen now. Barner, first down and more, shoved out at the 15-yard line that time by Jared Tevis.
Start talking about conditioning. This is where it shows up, but I got to be frank, they're pretty good right now.
Arizona.
That's what it forces you to do right there.
The Noles' big win in that ACC showdown. Mariota trying to extend this play, shovels it ahead, and that was dangerous as it was just batted down by Jared Tevis, but he could have made a play on it.
Jared Tevis is always around the football. I had a game earlier this year. He made tons of plays. That was, Marcus probably overthought that a little bit. He could have kept running, kept the ball, probably picked up 5 yards, but wanted to shovel it. Sometimes you think too much.
Yeah, he was channeling his inner Brett Favre right there.
Exactly.
And all of Green Bay said, I've seen that before.
Yeah. Ooh,
that time
play.
it didn't cost him. 2nd and 10. Here with the snap, and Barner has nowhere to go. And how about this Arizona defense after all the questions all week long? Could they hold up? Playing inspired ball here, pursuing, and a timeout is called by Chip Kelly and the Ducks. Jeff Castile came over from West Virginia, reunited with Rich Rodriguez, the defensive coordinator.
Joe, one of the things he said they were going to put in was this 3-3-5, and one of the things you have to be able to do in any defense is you have to be able to tackle and tackle in space. And so I think tonight they've done a pretty decent job. Now you're not going to be 100%, but this group has done a nice job here in the first half.
They have, and they've gotten enough penetration and gang tackling, getting people to the ball, first and secondary guys that can make that tackle, slow them down, let the traffic get to you.
Arizona took another timeout.
3rd and 20 now. Mariota. And off the hands that time of Daryl Hawkins. Rob Beard's career long is from 42. This attempt from 41. And he's able to put it through. DeAnthony Thomas, so much hype coming into this game. Cover of Sports Illustrated. One of those guys that every time he touches the ball, you think it could be, but so far tonight, Arizona playing some solid defense. There's Daniel Jenkins now, as he can only get to the 16-yard line.
One of the things that we talked about was for this Arizona defense is they had to be able to tackle in space. And DeAnthony Thomas, he's a big play waiting to happen all the time. And so you have to get a lot of people to the ball. They've done a nice job of doing that on DeAnthony Thomas tonight.
They really have. They've kept him corralled, not allowed him to get outside, but then they've squeezed and constricted the holes when he does turn up front.
Arizona going to keep it on the ground here, looking to close out this first
Penalties,
half.
turnovers, again, yet you're up 13. What do you tell these guys at halftime?
Just going to stop shooting ourselves in the foot, relax, settle down. Good football team over there, good football team in our locker room. Come back out and play second half.
What are they doing to you defensively that's keeping your offense from being on track?
They're doing a good job. Our defense is doing a good job. Both defenses are doing a good job. Both of our offenses got to get on track. Hopefully it's our offense, not theirs. Though.
All right, thanks, Chip. Welcome
back here to Autzen Stadium. Marcus Mariota had a touchdown pass, but the Oregon offense not able to do much. 13-0, number 3 on top of number 22 Arizona, alongside Mike Bellotti and Matt Millen. I'm Joe Tessitore. Rich Rod said earlier in the week, we're not experienced enough, we're not fast enough, we're not good enough on defense, but you know what? They're playing hard tonight.
They're playing hard, they're maintaining gap integrity, and they're having an answer to make sure they don't get outside or turn the big play guys loose.
You know, we said at the start of the game, the team that played the best defense would probably control this game. And save for the 4 wasted opportunities, Arizona's doing a great job.
Oregon 3 for 3 and Arizona 0 for 4.
And of course, Jeff Castile's Wildcats defense.
Well, they do it a variety of different ways, but here I want you to look at this. Look at the leverage. Look at how physical they are at the point, and they're taking away all the cutback lanes and filling all the gaps. You saw 5, now it's 7.
Now it's 7, now it's 8, and they always have an answer coming off the edge to make sure that they keep the guys in the pocket.
And the big thing, like we said, Mike, at the start of the game, is you have to be able to tackle and be physical. And they've done a great job of that in the first half.
And when you constrict that running lane, it's easier to tackle in there, just like you know.
Perfect.
See the numbers from the first half. Now the total plays, that's exactly what we expected, as they keep on average. But the turnovers and not capitalizing on opportunities, especially in the red zone, not a kick. And this will go for a touchback.
Rich Rodriguez said the whole team is extremely frustrated because of the lack of execution and the missed opportunities. They all know that they're right there. If they just make something happen, they have to push through it. Nobody's hanging his head, though. As for Matt Scott, the quarterback, why he had to go in the locker room, Rodriguez said he got hit in the hip, and they just wanted to pad him up.
The clock's still not reset, so the officials will keep the time on the field here as we start the second half with Kadeem Carey in the backfield with Matt Scott, the fifth-year senior for Arizona. And he completes his first pass.
Spoken like a true defensive guy right there. We gotta get a stop.
We always said that this first series of the half, that's the most important series you're going to have.
Here's Carey. And a good hole on the right side of that line, out to the 40 to move the chains, tackled by Olomu.
Right, he needs some help though. He was the leading passer and the leading rusher in the first half.
Right.
Scott to pass on first down, and that was thrown in back of David Richards, who was coming across the middle. Fast-paced offense for both teams. They hurry up to the line of scrimmage time and time again.
Both safeties deep as you like to run at this box right now.
There's Carey. He gets to the corner. Flag does come down.
Offense number 72. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Knowing Nick Aliotti as I do, I would guess he's going to come with some type of a blitz and come after.
Yeah, and they know inside that's Trace Biscuit. He's talking before. They're trying to get the communication. That's another thing that happens on the field when you're the opposing offense with a home crowd like this. Communication interior is a big deal.
Second and 20. Pick up the pressure and wide open out past the 45-yard line is Dan Buckner.
And I know that Coach Aliotti's defense did not want to give up that big a play on second and 20. You don't give it almost all of it back to make a manageable third down opportunity now for the offense.
And they're going to tighten up the coverage. They were in zone last time. They're showing a little bit of a man right now. They have the middle of the field closed with the safety sitting in the middle of it.
Third and 3. They need to get to midfield. And that is incomplete as he was looking for Buckner again, but Ekpre Olomu with good coverage.
Defo, I'm going to tell you what, he is anticipating, he recognized the slant, felt it coming, and it came across, knocked that ball out. That is courageous because watch for the slant and go now at some point, though.
And they are going for it on fourth down. And here comes the pooch punt as they line up in the formation.
Oh, that's ugly.
Autzen Stadium, 13-0. Number 3 on top. Oregon over Arizona. There's the coach's trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. Of course, BCS title game on ESPN on Monday, January 7th. So they try to disguise that fourth down. And they go with DeAnthony, who only had an 18-yard punt. Now Barner takes the carry here out to the 47-yard line for Oregon as they pick up the pace. Quickly get it out for the screen here to Eric Dungy. Barner. And a flag comes in at the end of that play as Dom Austin made the tackle after just a gain of 1.
Holding. Offense number 55. A 10-yard penalty. First down.
Ronas Grasu, the starting center. Backed up to a 1st and 20 now. And Barner breaking tackles. He's able to get back to the original line of scrimmage before he was finally taken down by Jackson.
You know, the guy who's been playing really well is Tui Halamaka on the inside. Not a real big guy, 265 pounds tops, but he is physical, plays with great leverage. Watch how he gets his hands into guys. He does a really nice job.
Yeah, he stays alive. He's not the biggest guy, so he's got a great push and great balance.
Threw it to the outside and low, looking for Eric Dungy that time.
He's pretty much controlled the inside. They really haven't had much success running on the inside. And when they've gone laterally, you can see getting the push. Let's see what happens with Mariota at the end. A little bit of push, not too bad.
Go empty here on 3rd and 10. Redshirt freshman quarterback from Hawaii. Sprinting to the near side. And off the fingertips of Eric Dungy.
Great throw. That is a great throw on the run, and that's on Dungy.
It is. You got to make that catch. That's in that void, that dead zone near the sideline. Ball just a tad high, but you got to. It's in his hands. We always say to the DB, do not let him catch it a second time. He touches it once, take the ball away.
Jackson Rice on to punt. Richard Morrison looking for the fair catch here at the 15, and that is where he secures. Matt Scott, Arizona offense, looking for something here as Kadeem Carey. Now the pitch to the near side, but nothing doing at all as Michael Clay just ate it up. Scott, and he threw it low. Kadeem Carey was open.
3 deep 500. You don't want that to happen.
Exactly. Duganzik back out to punt. Remember, only went for 18 yards on that disguised fourth down. This time he's able to boom it and drive DeAnthony Thomas back as it takes a bounce out near the 21-yard line. Autzen sold out tonight. 86th straight game of sellout. What school holds the FBS record for consecutive sellouts? Think about it, and we'll be back. Maybe friends with our friend from Aflac. Some beautiful scenery up here. We act the Aflac trivia question. Autzen, of course, another sellout. All the momentum this program has. 86 straight. Which school has the record for consecutive sellouts? Nebraska, 321. Had a win today. Rex Burkhead back. Speaking of Nebraska, there's Scott Frost, former Nebraska great. Back in '97, a starting quarterback on that unbeaten team. Jan Barner with the carry to the 26. Jonathan McKnight with the tackle for Arizona.
I think, Mike, this team, better than any team that I've seen, they do a great job of one cut and up the field. They'll stretch as long as they can and then bang up the field.
And Arizona's doing a nice job of making them run all the way to the sideline, but they're forcing the corners to make the tackle.
2nd and 4, and that is complete for a first down as Will Murphy spun free.
Needed no one earlier on the run.
Barner, look at him find his way. Kenyon Barner, a gain of 8.5 yards.
I think corners have to be very courageous. They have to they're designed to cover people, but the reality is teams are going to force them to come up and tackle. And you want to find out, can that guy, will that guy tackle?
Quick screen game now. As Stanford, he was tied up.
I see the little mist coming down. It does remind me of my time here.
Pressure free up here, though. Well, high above us. 3rd and 5 now. Mariota. And that is complete to Stanford. Oh, now they're coming in and saying incomplete. As you saw the umpire, who was off balance a bit there.
He has control.
And you see the ball hit the turf.
He's a great punter. I'll tell you what, he's going to be in the NFL. He just doesn't punt enough to get the stats for national rankings.
And Richard Morrison bobbled it for a moment. Central Rink Field will also be home to Thursday night football, Stanford, Washington, and then Oregon plays up there against Washington State a week from tonight. There's Carey on 2nd and 3, and he drives his way for a first down, and a flag comes in late.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 68. After this, play second down.
Left tackle.
That's Big Vic Baucus, number 68, right on this side. He gets his hands up high. He must have caught him in the face. I didn't see it from that angle, but apparently
any hands of the mask
was locked up with Taylor Hart. Autzen upholding its reputation as pound for pound the loudest in college football. Scott out of the backfield is Carey, and he dismisses the first would-be tackler. 3rd and 4. Will they get after Scott here?
Tight coverage, close the middle in the middle of the field.
And that was thrown to the outside of Richard Morrison.
That's because you're on offense. Now from the defensive side, they're trying to pick him down here in the bottom. They got the pressure right up inside, and Coach Rodriguez knew he'd like to have that one back, because that had a chance to work.
You shake a guy loose, you got to get him the ball.
Here's DeAnthony Thomas. Makes a move midfield. And DeAnthony Thomas has given Oregon prime position.
Want to give him the ball in the middle of the field with a 20-yard head start.
This kid is so sudden.
You know, that's a great descriptive for him.
Yeah, he's sudden. Stop, start. He changes speed so fast. I mean, holy cow.
D. Heisman, a lot of people think he could be that X-Factor kind of candidate in the Heisman race. Mariota lofts it downfield. Colt Lyerla. It'll be first and goal.
Yeah, this kid Lyerla, he's my new favorite player. I love that kid.
You would love him because when he originally came here, he wanted to play defense too.
6'5", 250-pounder.
They're going to power him inside right now.
Here's Thomas, the little guy. And now Lyerla comes in along with Brian Bennett. This is the big package they've shown throughout the night. Bennett and Lyerla. Look at that. Was that a handoff? Who gets credit for the touchdown?
They both wanted it. You take it, I got it. That didn't work,
They each took it into the football, and they scored.
That's okay when it's greedy, but I love it. When
Talk about a team effort.
That's pretty good. How are they going to score that, Joe? Who do you give it to?
Mutual possession goes to the offense.
Lyerla's
two offensive guys.
Lyerla's getting credit for it. You ever seen that? And now they go with the snap for the screen and the two-point conversion. How about that? That was Rob Beard, the place kicker, on a throw from the punter, Jackson Rice. Now that's the Oregon these fans have been waiting to see. A little razzle-dazzle, and then this. Colt Lyerla. Brian Bennett velcroing himself to him. Back 21-0 Oregon, as Colt Lyerla played such a big role on that last drive. And returning it here is Daniel Jenkins, and Jenkins cannot make it even out to the 20-yard line. Let's go back and show you another look at this Bennett and Lyerla handoff.
This is joined at the hip. Neither one of them wanted to give up the ball. They're afraid to fumble. It was originally placed on the hip, so they both carried it in the end zone. Not a great play by the Arizona defense, because you should be able to tackle a guy running sideways and backwards.
Now, Lyerla gets credit for the touchdown, but you would think, yeah, when you're dragging a 200-pound man with you, you should be an easier target to find. Now Arizona, after all those opportunities, finds himself down by 21 after the successful two-point conversion. And a quick strike to the near side complete to Tyler Slavin. Second one. Kareem Perry. Nice little move back to the right side. Scott looks one way, then sprints to the other and threw it too far to the outside for Buckner. And show pressure right in the middle. And now Clay backs off for a moment here on 2nd and 10. Now he's coming after Scott, and he gets him.
And that allowed Clay to be able to come through.
Yeah, because Clay gets stymied initially, but then he just continues. It's one of those effort deals to finish the play.
It's all right to get blocked. Don't stay blocked.
Arizona needs to get to the 45-yard line. They set up the screen, and it bounces off the pads that time. Don't go anywhere near him, you say, right, guys? DeAnthony on the punt. And he puts it right into the end of his own bench. Of course, Thomas out on the field offensively in that last drive that started with this spectacular return, just slicing his way through the special teams coverage of Arizona. And then Colt Lyerla, they put him in position and dragging Brian Bennett into the end zone. Rob Beard, the place kicker, coming up with the reception for the 2-point conversion.
Joe, that was the first big play that this Arizona defense gave up, and it led to a score.
It was a bad exchange that time between Mariota and Thomas. And he's going to get some work here. And back to the original line of scrimmage that time. Mariota steps up, slings it, and that is intercepted by Jonathan McKnight. Flag is down as McKnight returns it to the 35-yard line.
There's no foul for holding on the play. First down, Arizona.
They picked it up. Arizona spent the first half with the majority of their snaps coming on the plus side of the field.
So Mariota has a nice big hand, too. He just missed that one, Mike.
Yeah. Now here they are. 3:49 to go in the third. Scott going to take a shot downfield, and that is incomplete. He was looking for Slavin, but he was covered by Ekpre Olomu.
Great play by Olomu. Great play.
He played it. He saw. He felt the double move, and he recovered to find the ball, find the end point of the route, and then take it out of his hands. Great job.
How he did that fake. And he got on top of him. The ball hung just a bit, and that allowed him to recover. But nice job of getting to the top of the piece of that ball.
2nd and 10. They go to the screen to the near side. Kadeem Carey, a first down and a bit more as he charges inside the 20-yard line. Carey just a couple of yards that time as he was tackled by Eric Armstead and Ricky Himuli.
Been a quiet night for Dion Jordan. It's time for him to come alive.
Great pass rusher, number 96.
Single coverage at the bottom of the screen.
And a bit of pressure. They run right into it. Ball came loose at the end of that play. Left guard Chris Putton fell on the ball at the end of that play. It's 3rd and 7. Student section. They're down low there in the pit. Matt Scott needs something here. Flag will come in here.
Full start. Offense number 76. 5-yard break.
Right. They have bowed their back and kept Arizona out. They made some big plays when they needed to keep this thing scoreless.
Started the night 4 for 5 on 3rd down. Since then 1 for 8. Now a 3rd and 12.
Dropping 8.
Incomplete. It hit Tyler Slavin. Needs to catch a break with his offense. 4th and 12. Intercepted by Kiko Alonso.
And a flag drops at the end of that thing. But not before Alonso has the big play. So what does Nick Aliotto do when you're down there inside the red zone? He brings 3 and floods it with 8 defenders. Closes the middle, Mike. Tough place to throw.
He had that Mike Backer drop off and sort of play that second level spy guy underneath. Did a great job.
During the return, personal foul, face mask on the passing team, number 15.
That was probably Matt Scott's biggest mistake of the night, because he's been pretty accurate with the ball, but he didn't see that robber sitting inside, and that was Alonso.
Yeah, it looked like Tampa 2 where the middle linebacker takes the deep third, deep middle, and then comes up. He did not see him, you're right. And difficult, very, very difficult.
Rich Rodriguez frustrated. Nick Aliotti cheering on his troops. Arizona now has failed to convert on any of the 3 Oregon turnovers. 5th trip to the red zone and 0 for 5. They've been there. They've knocked on the door. It's just been slammed shut by either error or, in this case, that defense stepping up. Second and 8. Mariota got him. Does he ever? Braylon Addison, touchdown. The true freshman.
The safeties have to be involved in run support. They've got to try to help defeat the outside screen play. And when they hesitate one step, those inside guys can go right by them.
Yeah, they had two receivers to the right as they're going left to right. They're on the bottom. And it was just a simple cross route. And the one corner on the outside, his steps were wrong, and it got him beat. Nobody in the middle of the field, like you said. Safeties are gone. 6 on the board.
Mariota made it look easy. Looked one way, came back the other, and found the speedy Braylon Addison. 55-yard touchdown for the Ducks. 15 points off 3 Arizona turnovers. This is Daniel Jenkins. And Jenkins struggling on returns tonight. He lost the ball at the end of that. And Arizona does retain possession there.
Don't be on the bottom of that pile, let me tell you. A lot of stuff going on down there. This is what Marcus Mariota. Oh, here you go. Here's the end of that thing. Knee comes down. He still has control, and so there would be no fumble. Mike, here's what he saw. Mariota saw nothing in the middle of the field. He also saw 2 defenders on 2 out here. It's a crossing route. Inside gains leverage. It's over.
Right, they got him stacked, and they just turn it over. The DBs don't pick him up that way, and it's just a speed race down the field.
And Matt Scott quickly gets it to Austin Hill. Arizona came into this game 4th in the nation in total offense. Remember what they did against then 18th ranked Oklahoma State, put 59 points up against the Pokes. Here at the end of the 3rd, still looking to get on the scoreboard. We'll come to the end of this 3rd quarter. Coach Mike Bellotti, it's been a pleasure to have you up here in the booth with us with all your insight. And run for a first down by Kadeem Carey. Always great to visit with you. Stop by anytime.
Enjoyed it, my friend. Great, really enjoyed it. Thank you.
His old team having a good night. 28-0. Number 3 on top. Number 3 team in the country up 28-0 to start the 4th quarter. Matt Scott almost intercepted again there.
4 scoring opportunities that they will watch this tape and just be sick.
And then a 5th trip to the red zone not long ago that went for nothing. It's a big hit that time on Tyler Slavin, as it was Brian Jackson coming up from that strong safety position.
You know, Joe, we said at the start of the game that they had to try to get after the secondary of Oregon, and Oregon's secondary has played just outstanding, particularly on the corners, and in particular, Ekpre Olomu.
And keep in mind, most veteran player John Boyette is now out for the year after having knee surgery. 3rd and 7 for Scott. Pressure, gets rid of it, and that is picked off. Ekpre Olomu, right on cue. Pick 6, Ducks.
Player of the game right there, Joe. Ekpre Olomu, he just showed up in a big way here tonight, all night long. 2nd pick, this one, he takes it to the house, and it's all in his eyes. Great anticipation. He read the quarterback's eyes perfectly, and it was out the gate.
Number 3 looks like the title contender they are. This time the 2nd of the night for Ekpre Olomu. Returned it 54 yards for a touchdown. Daniel Jenkins now on the return, cuts back, finds a crease, has it out to the 31-yard line. So everybody talking about, could this be the year for Oregon? You know what they're doing tonight. Washington State seemingly completely outclassed and overmatched. They get Sarkisian bringing the Huskies here. So they're getting things turned around. And it's David Richards with the reception there for 3 yards.
Well, he's been throwing over at Ekpre, Olomu, and now he said, enough of that. I'm going to go over to Mitchell, who they've tried to stay away from all night long.
That is Terrence Mitchell, the other cornerback. And here on the carry for a first down is Kadeem. There's an injury now, as that is Trace Biskin. Washington. And then the Ducks. And you know these fans will be traveling north to celebrate this Ducks team time and time again. Matt Scott going to sling it complete this time to Richards, and he will be marked short.
Physical front.
There's no foul for a late hit out of bounds. The defender tried to hold the player up.
Carey tried to cut back against the green, and then there's a Nick Aliotti team meeting on top of him as the defense all found him.
Yeah, and the guy who called the meeting was Michael Clay, who himself,
he's a gamer,
has played an excellent game here tonight.
Spokesman of that defense. And there is Aliotti, one of the most likable guys in all of college football, and an outstanding veteran defensive coordinator. Looking for the shutout here tonight. Kadeem Carey thinking otherwise, and look at him maintain his balance down to the 23-yard line.
You know, it's interesting. Nick Aliotti, the defensive coordinator, he said he really didn't know what he had through the first 3 games. So this would be a good test, but he had faith in some of his guys, particularly on the corners.
Jenkins gets the call, and Jenkins goes nowhere.
There you go.
Look at the difference facing this Ducks defense.
Good toughness
far below
right there.
Their weekly production. 2nd and 11. And going up for it and coming down with the reception was David Richards on the slant.
This is 4 downs right here regardless.
Carey is stacked up, so it will be 4th down. And Carey looks like he came up short. Ekpre had that initial surge on the defensive front. Number 92 and 65 also got in there.
Oh, that's a fantastic job. Ekpre just abused the center.
And this will be a turnover on downs. 6 times in the red zone. 6 times Arizona comes up empty. Just that kind of night for Matt Scott and the Cats.
ESPN College Football Finale, brought to you by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
They've been having fun all night here at Autzen. A lot of different looks. The team went with the liquid metal helmets, the dark green jerseys, and the black pants. Arizona went for the Ofer when they got into the red zone. 6 times in the red zone, and they don't have a point on the scoreboard. And now quickly getting it out to DeAnthony Thomas. 10:31 to go. And they're up 35-0. But this has been the normal course so far this year, as nobody has been able to match points with Oregon. The only change in the script tonight is that Arizona did have chances. And once again, quickly getting it out to DeAnthony Thomas.
See that?
I mean, he is just so tricky in spots like that. Our FaceTime profile is brought to you by Edward Jones. He comes from L.A., where he started playing in a youth football league that was started by Snoop Dogg. A sensation since the time this kid was 7 years old. And now Chip Kelly lands him here at Oregon. He starred last year in the Rose Bowl with the long runs that got everyone's attention, and he has kept it up this year. Came into the night with 7 touchdowns on what was at the time just 24 touches of the ball. And this is Byron Marshall, who is another one of these young players who will be the future of Oregon football, just a true freshman.
You know what you have to know about DeAnthony Thomas? As impressive as all those numbers are, he's an even better kid.
He is such a nice guy.
Great kid.
We had a wonderful visit with him yesterday. Talked about his nickname is the Black Mamba, you know, the African snake. But he actually has a pet snake in his apartment here in Eugene. Mariota on 2nd and 3.
Way too much time.
As he's going to just scoot ahead and get the first down. And the snake's name is Corleone, as in Don Corleone from The Godfather. We asked him what it's like, right? What did he say? He said, well, I got a goal. I want to feed him bigger rats.
Yeah. He said, I give him the little ones. And he said, and I just put him in. I said, what do you do? He says, I just like to watch him eat them.
Marshall unable to find any positive movement there as Jarrett Tevis.
Everyone, and he gets him in early. Like Byron Marshall right there. He's got some experience already in all the games. Now Brian Bennett back in, and Colt Laerla as a fullback again.
This is the package that I have found the most intriguing tonight with Oregon. They always show you something new. How about this combination of that guy, the 250-pound tight end H-back, and Brian Bennett at quarterback. And here goes Laerla up and over to the 50-yard line. Shaquille Richardson, poor Shaquille Richardson, watching Laerla come at him.
Good-looking kid. I mean, this kid's got some speed too. Now Richardson wasn't afraid to stick his face into that 250-pound man, but watch Laerla with the speed that he's got. He'll burst. He sees a hole, he gets there.
And Bennett's going to throw it. And getting the first down is Addison. Remember, Brian Bennett. Many thought he would win the starting job, but he handled the news of Mariota getting the nod really well. Competitive guy. Last year got playing time, had a start against Colorado, played a huge role against Arizona State when Darren Thomas went down with an injury. Laerla now. There's that stiff arm and a burst of speed, just like you said, Matt.
Laerla is one of those. This kid at the next level, he will help an offense at the next level in the NFL extremely well. He has run skills. He catches the ball well. He can block on the line of scrimmage. Heck, he can. This is like Hernandez up in New England. He handed him the ball in the backfield. This kid's legit. I told you, he's my new favorite player.
Everybody up here around the Oregon football offices give you that little smirk when you mention him, and now this is off target as Bennett just falls on that. Now you talk about Colt Laerla up here, and it's like you've keyed in on one of the hidden secrets of the Oregon offense, right?
Well, it's not going to be a secret for long because this kid's just too talented. That nice stiff arm. He's got good speed, like we documented. He has a burst. He's just a good athlete. You know, there's a YouTube on him. You can YouTube him where he's standing and high jumps 62 inches right to the top.
You're enjoying your iPad, aren't you, Mr. Miller?
My daughter bought it for me.
Oh, it's a nice gift.
Yeah, I don't know how to use it.
Putting it to use. And after they were backed up with the snap that went astray, Laerla carries it again. Dan Pettinato with the tackle that time.
See Chip Kelly, he told me get in. He wants him in. Chip Kelly, you know what I love about Chip with this offense and just this team? His attitude has permeated everything. You walk into the office up there, and I can feel Chip Kelly. I can feel his attitude, his enthusiasm, his love for the game. It's in all of his players.
Marcus Mariota comes back in on 3rd and 20. Mariota somehow ducks underneath the pressure and then slings it downfield for a first down to Braylon Addison. Just making the most of it is the cool, calm Hawaiian.
There's some things you just can't teach. You either have this or you don't. And Marcus Mariota, he's got it. You know, when a guy does it one time, you go, I got lucky. But when you start to see it over and over, you look at Jeff Castile, their defensive coordinator. Jeff, there's nothing you can do about that. This is more than just a one-time thing that happens with Mariota. The kids got
people that watch this second half of Oregon and what they've done here at Arizona and wonder, you know, LSU struggling against Auburn today. Is Oregon going to be the new #2 team in the country? As we look at what happened in the AP top 10, you know, that LSU Auburn game could have gone either way. Here Oregon is just dismantling the 22nd ranked team in the country. Ryan Bennett back in on 1st and goal. Let's see if Loyola gets a chance at another touchdown. Bennett, as Loyola seals the edge for him, and Bennett tack on some more.
Nice call by you, Joe, with Loyola. Loyola took the end man on that line of scrimmage and turned it into a double team, but they carried him the entire distance.
Watch him seal that wall. Watch sophomore tight end.
Got inside and just took him for a ride. Well, he and Fisher.
You tell me, Matt, Oregon or LSU, who's the second best team in the country?
I know which offense can go, and that's this one right here.
Hear it? Our stadium isn't the biggest. Our stands aren't the highest. Our crowds aren't the largest. But measure us by decibel and gauge us by roar. Noise. Can you hear me now?
Going to be hearing this group all year long. The Oregon Ducks up 42-0 on the 22nd ranked team in the country, Arizona. 5 different players have scored the 5 touchdowns for Oregon, including Ekpre. Olomu had a pick early in the game, playing tight defense. And then this, Matt.
They tested him all night long, and he met the challenge every single time. He did it in the run game. He did it in the pass game. He had 2 picks, 1 for a pick 6. Fantastic player. If I was picking a player of the game, that would be him right there.
One of the big discussions I know you had all week long and when you were watching tape was, could you pass against this secondary? Was that one of the advantages Arizona would have? And here they go again. Can you believe this? I think we just got the answer confirmed as Brian Jackson says, no, another pick 6.
This one he's just eyeballing the whole time. That's B.J. Denker, the backup quarterback. And I want you to watch. See, he eyeballs him the whole time. The quarterback Denker came up and looked at it the whole way, and then he just took it to the house.
That was actually Troy Hill. Pick 6 by Troy Hill, the sophomore corner. One of the backups getting some time late here. 49-0. Troy Hill, 33-yard interception, return for a touchdown. Marcus Mariota in that offense. And taking a breather here for most of this 4th quarter. And Jenkins on the return for Arizona out to the 25-yard line. Story of the night has been the opportunities Arizona has had, but coming up with nothing.
Yeah, and it's been all red zone. 0 for 6 in the red zone. Not being able to get it. Had one blocked. He dropped it. Interceptions. It's just been a nightmare for this offense. On the other hand, Nick Alioto and his defense, it's been a big night for them. They've come up when they've had to turn the thing over on downs. You can see all the things right in front of you, but big night for the defense. Not good for the Arizona offense.
B.J. Denker, Richard Morrison. Stanford had the big win against USC. They're idle this week. Back in action. Pac-12 play on Thursday night. There's B.J. Denker now trying to escape the pressure, and he threw it behind Morris. So to gain some confidence, some things broke their way. Denker looks one way, looks the other, now being chased, and puts it at the feet of Dan Buckner.
That will really serve them well down the line is Colt Laerla. Because in the run game, he gives them some power, which they haven't had. And in the passing game out of that tight end spot, they split him, they move him around. He becomes a mismatch and a nightmare to be able to match up with him. But he's that kid right there, Colt Laerla. He's going to have a lot to do with the success of this team this season.
As if they need any more weapons. Now they've got the powerful Laerla hitting his stride. Braylon Addison, a lot of people thinking perhaps they never really were what they were propped up to be in the preseason rankings. The carry by Byron Marshall and Landry Jones and some of the pieces missing on the offensive line, and K-State got the best of them today.
And Landry Jones had to be the guy that was able to separate them in that game. And you know, he didn't have a lot of help from his offensive line, but having said that, you got to find a way.
12-10. There will be many likely thinking that Oregon could be the new #2 team in the country. As Byron Marshall showing you why they're so high on him. A flag is down back at the line of scrimmage, but
fouls by the offense. Holding number 45. That penalty is declined. Holding number 78. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
In fact, they have a verbal commitment from Thomas Tyner, who last week in a Friday night high school football game up this way had 644 yards and 10 touchdowns. Aloha High School won 84-63 against Lake Ridge. Now, a level of competition doesn't look like much, but he is a verbal commitment to the Ducks. 644 yards and 10 touchdowns in a high school game.
That's a career.
Guys like Mariota, just a redshirt freshman, DeAnthony Thomas, a sophomore, Byron Marshall, who we've been seeing here on this drive, a true freshman. They're young, they're fast, they're talented. And there is DeAnthony Thomas, who's going to have a lot to come his way. Jackson Rice on to punt. Remember, he threw that 2-point conversion earlier tonight.
Nice punt.
But here's the X factor, according to Mr. Miller.
Well, he is. He's got run skills. He can burst. Colt Laerla is a guy you can line him up in a lot of different positions. He can play. He can run inside. He blocks at the line of scrimmage. Watch the feet in the hole and then the burst. And that's a 250-pound man. You line him up on the end line of scrimmage, and then you just run it down the sideline. Catches the ball well. This kid's he's already one of the top tight ends I've watched out there in college football. He's just getting better. He's just on the bottom, climbing his way to the top.
B.J. Denker, the backup quarterback for Arizona, has been getting some time here late in the game with the score well out of reach. Richard Morrison coming back and sliding for that reception. We're in the final minute here of what has turned into a steamrolling by Oregon. The pick sixes brought back, all those missed opportunities by Arizona in the first half and the third quarter. What do you do with Oregon at #3 with a 49-0 scoreboard here against 22nd ranked Arizona?
You know, the questions they're still going to have about this team is, can they match up with an SEC physical defense down the middle and a physical offensive line? You start talking about Alabama, you're probably talking about the best offensive line in college football, and they're physical. And can this defensive front match up with them?
B.J. Denker just sliding ahead. Sports Center is coming up next. The stories that you see on the rundown are coming your way. All the day's action in college football. They'll recap what happened with the Florida State Seminoles in that thriller as Chip Kelly takes care of Rich Rod and the Cats 49-0.